When it comes to getting a DBA in Indiana, you basically have a choice to make. Do you want to save some cash and file the paperwork all by yourself, or save a ton of time and let a professional company handle it for you? Well, in this video, I'm breaking down both options step by step. We'll look at the DIY route so you don't miss any fine print, and then I'll show you how a platform like ZenBusiness can basically automate the whole process for you. They've been a total lifesaver for hundreds of thousands of business owners, so by the end of this, you'll have everything you need to get up and running. So a DBA, if you never heard of it, stands for Doing Business As. Sometimes it's called a trade name or a fictitious business name. Basically, what it does is it allows a business to operate under a name that's different from its legal name or the name of its owners. Like, say my friend Sarah, she wants to start a coffee shop called Gourmet Coffee instead of using her personal name. That means she can register a DBA so the business could legally have that name. So the name would technically be Sarah Brown Doing Business As Gourmet Coffee. But DBAs have another purpose, as they let businesses operate under a name that helps their customers better understand what's being offered by that business. Now, this doesn't just work in the case of using a name different from your own. Like, say instead, from the start, Sarah was interested in an LLC called Gourmet Coffee. Well, in that case, she wouldn't need a DBA as long as she operates the business as Gourmet Coffee LLC. But maybe after a while, Sarah decides to start another shop with a boba, okay, instead of coffee. Instead of starting a second LLC, she can just take advantage of a DBA to reflect her new venture, while still being able to use her existing business structure. Now, DBAs are solely used for naming purposes, okay? They do not automatically give their owners any legal protection, and a DBA is not a business entity. If you do need help with starting your own business entity, we got a ton of videos to help you out with just that, so be sure to check those out as well. Okay, so getting a DBA in Indiana. Well, the first step is you gotta choose a name, okay? Make sure the name you pick is unique and it hasn't already been taken by another entity in the state. You can check out the Indiana Secretary of State's business search and see what names have already been taken. A trip to the Federal Trademark and Patent Office wouldn't hurt either, or honestly, just do a Google search. Now, Indiana does have a few specific restrictions when it comes to picking out a name. Like, for example, the name shouldn't have words in it that might confuse your business with a government entity, or related to banking, or medical words. You gotta get the proper approval or license for this kind of thing. Now, once you have your business name picked out, you can get started on the paperwork. If you have a sole proprietorship or a general partnership, you'll file your certificate of assumed business name with the county you'll operate in. Each county has their own specific guidelines on how the application needs to be done, but the questions they'll ask for are, for the most part, the same. Those forms can be mailed or submitted in person, and some counties will offer online submission, but not all. So your county clerk can let you know for sure. Now, for all other business structures, like an LLC or a corporation, your application for an assumed name is filed through the Indiana Secretary of State. Here, your filing options are online, by mail, or in person. Some of the questions you'll see on the application include the DBA or assumed business name you've chosen, the name or names of the individuals requesting the DBA and their address, and what industry the business fits under. A DBAs in Indiana will cost $35 for sole proprietorships and partnerships. For other business entities like LLCs and corporations, the cost is $30 if paid by mail or $20 if paid online. Filing fees for nonprofits are $26 if the paperwork is submitted by mail, or just $10 if you file online. But in all three cases, a DBA in Indiana will not expire, okay? You don't need to worry about renewing it down the line. Now, if doing all this on your own sounds like a lot, there is another option. Personally, I have so much to do on a given day, professionally and personally. I would much rather spend time doing something else than government work, which is why I chose a formation service like ZenBusiness to go through the process for me. On a personal note, I do see ZenBusiness as one of the best business formation services out there, and they are especially beginner friendly because they take care of all the legwork for you. Don't get me wrong, there are other great services out there. I've also tried LegalZoom, Swift Filings, even Taylor Brands, actually. I have reviews for all of them, so I'll go ahead and leave those down in the description if you want to check them out as well. So let's talk about ZenBusiness and why it stood out to me, because for starters, they're not new at this. They've been around since 2015 and currently hold an excellent 4.8 rating on Trustpilot with over 27,400 customer reviews. And they don't just help you start your business and leave you to figure out the rest for yourself. They also help keep your business up and running with features like compliance reminders, website tools, and bookkeeping options. So I think their wide range of services would be very helpful for any new or even experienced entrepreneurs. So let's go through the process of registering a DBA, or what Indiana officially calls it, an assumed business name. with ZenBusiness. Right now, they offer a DBA filing service starting at about $95 plus state or local fees. The whole application is like a couple of steps, and it takes like 5 minutes from start to finish. The first step, and I know this sounds dumb, select Indiana from the dropdown and the specific county you're registering in. It's important because in Indiana, the rules change depending on your business type. If you're a sole proprietor, you'll file with the county recorder. But if you're already an LLC or a corporation, you'll file with the Secretary of State. On the next page, you'll enter the business name you picked out, and ZenBusiness will run a preliminary name check just to make sure it's actually available. Then you'll go through a drop-down menu of different industries to find the one that best matches your business. Then from there, ZenBusiness will offer to handle some of the extra paperwork for you, like getting an EIN or taking care of any specific business licenses or permits that you might need. Depending on your business structure, that might be a smart move to save you the headache later, but there's no obligation to take any add-ons. When it comes to the actual filing, ZenBusiness keeps it really simple. Once you check out, they will prepare and submit all the necessary paperwork to the right office for you. And actually, one thing about filing in Indiana versus like California or some other states, Indiana doesn't require you to publish your DBA in a newspaper. I know it sounds antiquated, but a lot of states do it, and that's just one less fee and one less deadline to worry about. Honestly, for most people paying that $95 service fee, it's just worth it to get your time back. The hidden cost of screwing all this up, like filing with the wrong office, letting your registration expire, it's way higher than the service fee itself. I've seen people lose months of progress having to restart the whole process from scratch just because they made a simple paperwork error.
Now, once the paperwork is filed and you officially have your LLC, there's still one hurdle every new owner hits almost immediately: the banking trap. See, an LLC service gets your business legal, but you still need a way to actually, operate. And if you're like me, running an agency, working with a remote team, paying for software in different currencies, traditional banks can feel like a ball and chain. You get hit with high FX fees, forced conversions, a whole mountain of manual reconciliation every single month. That's exactly why I use Airwallex, who is actually the sponsor of today's video. Airwallex is the global payments and financial platform that makes a business truly functional in a digital-first and borderless world. Instead of waiting weeks to visit a physical branch, you can open a multi-currency business account in minutes. You get local bank details in over 20 countries, covering the US, the UK, a lot of Europe, tons more. Now, this is huge because it allows your overseas clients to pay you in their own currency while you receive it like a local business. Essentially, you can collect, hold, convert, and spend money only when you need to at interbank rates without those massive border taxes that traditional banks hide in their exchange rates and transaction fees. And from there, managing your LLC's finances is just as seamless. You can use Airwallex to accept payments, make international transfers, manage company spend, bill customers, and much more, all in one unified platform. You can even issue a specific virtual corporate card for ads, or another one for travel, a separate one for software like Slack or Canva. These cards let you pay global expenses directly from your Airwallex multi-currency balances, which means the real advantage here is you're skipping the massive 3% hidden tax on international fees and transaction fees. You also get total control with custom limits per card, and you can freeze or cancel them in one click. Every single transaction then auto flows into their built-in expense management, matching receipts and approvals so your books stay clean without the manual legwork. And what really helps is that it integrates directly with accounting tools like Xero, NetSuite, and QuickBooks. Just like I prefer ZenBusiness because it keeps the legal side organized, Airwallex handles the financial busy work, so you aren't stuck dealing with spreadsheets at 2 a.m. It's a massive help for staying tax compliant from day one, which is usually the biggest headache when you're just starting out. And if you want a simpler, all-in-one platform to handle your LLC's finances, rather than juggling multiple tools for business accounts, for payments, spending, and billing, I'll leave a link below with Airwallex's current best offer. And by the way, they don't charge a monthly fee at all to get started.
So just as a recap, here today we went over both ways to register a DBA in Indiana. There's the DIY route where you take care of it all yourself, or have ZenBusiness do everything for you. And at the end of the day, ZenBusiness is a really great option for registering your DBA. The process, fast and simple, and they can help you with just about every aspect of your business. And they can work with you after forming your business so you can be sure your company is meeting all of its requirements. They really offer this like one-stop shopping experience. It gives you more support and guidance in starting your business than you would ever get doing it on your own. And as a small business owner myself, that support is priceless. But that's about it for today. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more. And just as a reminder, if you want to try out ZenBusiness, check out the description below for our exclusive affiliate link to get started. Also, if you're interested in working with us or sponsoring a future video, you can reach out using the email that's also down in the description below. Also, I just love hearing from you guys, so what are your thoughts on ZenBusiness? Or do you have a question I didn't cover in the video? If you do, please drop it down in the comments below and I'll do my best to try and answer them as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.